The town of Silver Creek didn't sleep the night Dr. Evan Holbrook was arrested. Police lights painted the quiet streets in flashes of red and blue. Neighbors stood on their porches, whispering. Phones buzzed nonstop. News spread faster than truth ever had. The man they trusted, the man who had treated their families for years, was now in handcuffs. Inside the station, Holbrook sat under harsh fluorescent lights. His posture was calm, too calm. Detective Aaron Cole watched him carefully from across the table. "You had years," Aaron said quietly. "Years to stop." Holbrook didn't respond. Instead, he stared at the table, like a man still deciding which version of himself he wanted to be. "I didn't mean for it to go this far," Holbrook finally muttered. Aaron leaned forward. "But it did." At first, Holbrook tried to minimize everything. He called it a mistake, a moment of panic, a situation that spiraled. But the evidence told a different story. Maya Bennett had been building a case. For months, she noticed patterns, medications missing, records altered, patients reporting side effects that didn't match their files. At first, she thought it was an error. Then she realized it wasn't. Holbrook had been stealing controlled substances for years, selling some, using others, covering everything with forged records and altered charts. And Maya had found the cracks. "She came to me," Holbrook said during interrogation, his voice shaking slightly now. "She said she had proof." "What did you do?" Aaron asked. A long silence. Then, "I told her we should talk outside." It was still dark when Maya finished her shift. 5:47 a.m. She stepped outside the hospital. That moment, the one caught on camera, was the last time anyone saw her alive. Holbrook was waiting. He convinced her to walk with him, away from the cameras, toward the side of the building. "She trusted me," he whispered. Aaron didn't respond. Holbrook claimed he just wanted to explain, to fix it. But when Maya refused to stay silent, everything changed. "She said she was going to report me that morning," he said. "And you couldn't let that happen." Holbrook closed his eyes. What happened next wasn't planned. But it was irreversible. He struck her. Once. Hard enough to take control. Not enough to kill her immediately. And in that moment, he made a choice. Instead of calling for help, instead of saving her, he chose himself. He transported her to the cabin. The one hidden just beyond the woods. The one no one ever visited. By the time he realized what he had done, it was already too late. Months passed. Silver Creek changed. People locked their doors now. They questioned everything, especially trust. The courtroom was packed the day the trial began. Maya's family sat in the front row, silent, still, broken in ways no one could see. The prosecution laid out everything. The fraud, the cover-up, the confrontation, the murder, photos, records, timelines, every detail carefully presented. But the most powerful moment came from Maya's voice, recovered from her phone. A voice memo she had recorded just days before she disappeared. "If anything happens to me, it's not random." The room went still. Holbrook's defense argued panic. They claimed it wasn't premeditated, that he was overwhelmed, afraid, not thinking clearly. But the jury saw through it. Because panic doesn't explain what came after. The hiding, the silence, the attempt to erase everything. This wasn't just fear. It was a decision. It didn't take long. Guilty. The word echoed through the courtroom like a final breath. Maya's mother broke down. Her father held her hand tightly. And for the first time since the investigation began, there was something close to closure. Holbrook didn't react. He just sat there, staring forward, as if the world had finally caught up with him. Sentencing. Weeks later, the sentence was delivered. Life imprisonment. No parole. The judge didn't hesitate. "You abused trust in its purest form," she said. "You silenced someone who chose to do what was right." Holbrook was led away in chains. No longer a doctor. No longer respected. Just another name behind bars. Silver Creek never returned to what it was. And maybe it wasn't supposed to. The hospital implemented new oversight systems. Staff spoke up more. Questions were no longer ignored. And Maya Bennett was remembered not just as a victim, but as someone who stood up when it mattered most. A plaque was placed in the hospital hallway for Maya Bennett, who chose truth, even when it was dangerous. In true crime, people often ask, how could no one see it? But the truth is, someone did. Maya saw it. She spoke up. And even though it cost her everything, it also brought the truth to light, because in the end, the man everyone trusted most was the one with the most to hide, and justice finally caught up with him.